What's up, guys? You got PokeaimMD here, and I am back with week 2 of King of Summer. I, of course, am playing Blunder, or Cham. Medicham is actually one of his favorite Pokemon. Same thing with Pancham, so that's why he has that. I saw a lot of people asking, that's why he has that name. I mean, when you think of Blunder, you think of Medicham. Anyway, so I'm using this team that Blunder actually passed me a long time ago. It's ABR's Dragonite team with Rocky Helmet, Tangrowth, Choice Scarf Jirachi, Dragonite's Roost Leftovers, Dragonite, Specs Magnezone, Cobra Berry, Surf Latios. It is extremely weak, and Stealth Rock Mega Diancie. Typically not a fan of that. I don't like Diancie that has to go for Stealth Rock, but then again, it's good versus Stall, which is why he gave it to me, and it actually helped a lot in my road to top 10 because I can get up those Stealth Rock versus those Sableye, since they're more than likely switching out, and it's a reliable Stealth Rocker versus them. But Blunder decided that he would assert dominance and bring the exact same team from last week. If you guys actually missed last week's battle, there is a playlist down below where you can check out mine as well as Blunder's side. Blunder's side is actually already up as we speak, so if you guys want to go ahead and check out his side and why he made certain plays, you guys can check that out later. But basically, I have two leads I can lead off with. One of them is Tangrowth, and the other one is Diancie. Diancie leads off well versus Keldeo because I know that he has Choice Scarf. It also leads off well versus Medicham because I know he doesn't have the Bullet Punch, as well as leads off well versus Latios because HP Fire is his set. I already got all this information from last game. I also have the team myself. The problem with leading off Diancie is, though, I am forced to switch out if he leads off with Rotom or Jirachi or Landorus because his Landorus is Choice Scarf. Now, the other lead is Tangrowth, and Tangrowth leads off well versus Landorus, Jirachi, Keldeo, and Rotom. The only problem is that I lose him on if he leads off with Medicham. So I decided that I would just lead off with Tangrowth, specifically because it beats more Mons than Diancie does as a lead matchup, so it's less of the time it's forced to switch out. So thankfully I do get this right. He ends up leading off with his Rotom, as I am going to lead off with my Tangrowth. Now, I could go for the knockoff right here with my Tangrowth. What the hell? Growth? What did I just say? My Tangrowth, expecting his Jirachi. However, I do not want his Mega Medicham coming in on an expected knockoff. So I decided to go right for the Giga Drain. I thought that it was a better play overall because even if he did go out to Jirachi, I could just knock him off after, and he has to take Rocky Helmet if he touches me. So I get off a clean 55 to 60% to his Rotom, as he is going to burn me with Will-O-Wisp. Now, this burn is kind of crucial, because it means that Scarf Landorus might have a chance of beating me. It also means that Specs Keldeo with the Rocks up and with Burn, and the fact that we're level 50, so damage does do a little bit more. It can 2-hit KO me with the Secret Sword with some good rolls. So I throw off another Giga Drain. Again, same thought process. I do not want Medicham coming in at all. I'd rather get his Medicham to close to 60%, force it to take 2 hits. Because if I did get Medicham in, I would cover a decent amount to the point where Mega Evolved Adamant Ice Punch would not be able to take me out. But goes up to his Jirachi. I don't mind him getting up his Stealth Rock. I know that it is his Stealth Rocker, simply because, like I said, we battled before. So I can hit him with the knockoff. And again, knockoff is part of my plan to weaken him for my Dragonite, also for my Diancie, which gets to spam Moonblast. This is his only Moonblast answer, excuse me. So I don't mind weakening him at the price of my Tangrowth being extremely low. So he's going to U-turn out of there, taking the Rocky Helmet damage. Again, I threw off a Giga Drain because it was my best play. It was just honestly my best play overall. I really didn't see him going out into Medicham, but I was still going to make my best play overall to prevent that thing from coming out for free because Knock wouldn't do anything. I also had the Earthquake. I didn't have HP Fire in the set, and also it's Toxic, so interesting ABR set. He goes out to his Latios, which is a really good mid-ground play. It wouldn't take anything from Burnt Knockoff anyway. It avoids Earthquake, it tanks the HP Fire, and there was no way I was going for Toxic right there. So I'm going to go out into my Choice Scarf Jirachi because I can deal with this thing. He makes a good play in going for the HP Fire. You might say, oh, well, that's super effective versus super effective. You switched him from a Grass type to a Steel type. He just went for the all-out attacking play. Yes, however, I did have Diancie, so if I brought out Diancie, I would obviously take nothing from that. I can get up my Rocks and scare the Latios out, which I thought I would do, which is why I went for U-turn, as Blunder decides to stay in. The only reason you stay in on a U-turn from a Scarf Jirachi is if you are going for the recover this turn. So I am going to go out into my Diancie, taking this opportunity to get it in for essentially free if he did go for recover, as he did, and I don't expect him to stay in. He also revealed, even though I already knew, he revealed that he has the HP Fire, which means that once I Mega Evolve, and because I'm not packing the own HP Fire, or my own HP Fire, I can outspeed him since HP Fire does sacrifice that speed IV, meaning if we were level 100, I would be 350 speed, he would be 349. So I'm going to take this opportunity to get up my Stealth Rock. Blunder's team does not have a defogger. His Latios is HP Fire, Recover, so definitely does not have defog. He brings out his Jirachi. I go for Protect as opposed to hard switching out into maybe Magnezone, which wouldn't really do too much because he can just go right for the U-turn, or going right out to Tangrowth, because if he wanted to double out into Medicham, predicting my Tangrowth to want to come out to just get that Mega or even Keldeo, basically if I stayed in a protected and he made that play, I would be faster than them. I could hit them with Moonblast and pick up a KO. He makes a really nice double though, does read my switch into Tangrowth right now, brings out his Medicham, and I cannot stay in it at all. Basically, high jump kick gets a kill. Latios isn't going to appreciate it at all. It almost dies after rocks. Dragonite is 2-hit KO'd after Stealth Rock from Adamant High Jump Kick, and he would outspeed me after anyway and go right for the Ice Punch and take me out, which is way more reliable. And obviously I can't go out to Jirachi, that thing would get nuked. So I decided to actually sack my Magnezone because I had already knocked off the Jirachi's leftovers. I know that if I bring in my Tangrowth a couple times on that thing's U-turn or Iron Head, I could take it down, I could wear it down low, and I can also wear it down with repeated Moonblast, which is exactly what I'm proceeded to do. So, gonna go out to my DNC after my Magnezone does go down. He does go right for the high jump kick. Again, it was his best play. It literally nukes everything on my team. As right here, he's going to choose to sack his Rotom. Another good play. It was already low enough to the point where Latios knocked it out. Jirachi could just get U-turn pivots out into Diancie. And by not going directly into his Jirachi, he prevents it from taking any unnecessary damage and still threatened me with the Iron Head. So it was a good play that he sacked his Rotom right there, as he is going to go out into his Jirachi. Same thing as last time. I don't want to immediately switch because basically I'm trying to condition him to make the play, but again at the same time I know the Diancie has too much worth for me to stay in with it. So I decided to make a mid-ground play right here, as opposed to going out to Tangrowth, and if he does double on to Medicham and losing momentum because I lose another Mon to the high jump kick, I decided to go out to Latios. Latios takes Iron Head. I can threaten him with, not really threaten him, but I can do about 20% with the Surf, and if he did double out into his Medicham, I'm faster than it. He doesn't have Bullet Punch, and Fake Out plus Bullet Punch doesn't knock me out anyway, and I could drop a Draco if I want to on this Medicham. I take the Fake Out, and I actually expect him to go out to his Jirachi and hit him with the only move I can hit him with, which is Surf. I'm a Cobra Berry Latios though, so look how little that does. That did 2. However, I kind of do expect him to U-turn. He can't really risk switching out if I do choose to drop a Draco. He doesn't have a Fairy type on his team. So I am going to go out to my Tangrowth just to get off that Rocky Helmet damage. Now, Latios is still very useful because it can outspeed the Keldeo. It also stops my opponent from spamming Scarf Earthquake with his Landers. However, between Dragonite, Tangrowth, and Latios, I'm not too worried. So he goes right for that U-turn. Going to take that chip damage from the Rocky Helmet, pretty much put him in range of Moonblast from my Diancie. So no longer does he have a switch in to my Mega Diancie. Goes out into his Medicham, and I can still save my Tangrowth just to get off a bit more Rocky Helmet, as well as the fact that it only takes about 14-15% from Scarf Earthquake from Landorus. So if I wanted to, I could take the hit. He decides to go for Ice Punch. Solid play all around. Knocked out Dragonite. Jirachi, there was no way I was going out to Jirachi. If anything, Jirachi is my way of winning this game, getting his entire team low enough to flinch him to death. Or if I win some 50-50s with Dragonite, which you guys will see later. So he does kill my Latios upon switching. I am able to go out to my Diancie. At this point, like I said, his Jirachi is so low. He makes a really nice mid-ground play and decides to sack his Latios because Jirachi can take one Moonblast. It can take one Moonblast at the range it's at, and by him sacking Latios, it also gives him the switch in to his Landers, and at the same time, he also didn't sack Jirachi because, well, it's actually a roll if I knock it out with Moonblast after Stealth Rock. But he also didn't sack Jirachi because he wants to try and Healing Wish up versus my Tangrowth. So he is an idiot and misclicks. I don't want to call him an idiot, but he misclicks the Keldeo, and I acknowledged it was a misclick. He told me it was a misclick over Skype, so I was like, okay, you know what, bro, just go out to Landers. I knew you were going to go out to Landers there anyway. It was your only play. So I decided to protect just to give him basically that turn that he just lost to give it back to him, though at the same time, that Stealth Rock damage is a little bit key on his Keldeo, and you guys will see later. But he goes for Earthquake, and it is a few 50-50s right now. Will he go for another Earthquake? Will he double out to Keldeo, expecting my Dragonite? I decide to make the Dragonite play because I can switch in to his Earthquakes if I wanted to. He would have to double here to give me the least out of this turn, and at the same time I still do have leftover, so I will be able to recover and bring in this Dragonite multiple times to his Landers. So he does make the nice double out into Keldeo. Good play on my opponent's part. I decided to sack Tangrowth because at this point it's gonna be worn down by Landers' Earthquake as well as the Stealth Rock. If Landers goes for U-turn on any point that I switch in my Tangrowth, it is gonna go down combined with the burn and the Stealth Rock damage, and Icy Wind basically can 2 KO everything. My Jirachi, because he has specs, I'm not sure that I could take 2 Icy Winds after Stealth Rock, so I now get to bring out my Diancie, and because my Tangrowth was sacked and it was the only Pokemon that his Jirachi actually outsped, like I said, it was a roll if I knocked it out with Moonblast. Well, then again, not after Stealth Rock. No way that was a roll after Stealth Rock. Even though he is Spadef yeah, no way that was a roll after Stealth Rock. I was just forgetting Stealth Rock right there. But I am able to pick up my KO with the Moonblast right here. As, again, his only Pokemon that does outspeed me is his Choice Scarf Landorus. That's the only thing that I have to deal with. Again, Blunder misclicks. Yo, this kid, I swear, he cannot pay attention to save his life. He misclicks Keldeo one more time, and again, I decide to be the nice guy and protect instead of Moonblasting. I know that he specs. We both know he specs. And I decided to be the nice guy and go for Protect instead of Moonblasting. That way he can go right back out into his Landers, and that he didn't lose that turn. So again, Protect is my play of choice because these are all 50-50s. Will he Earthquake again? Will he double out into Keldeo? I still decide to make what I think is my best play and go right out to Dragonite if he does choose to stay in. As he does, as you can see, I did switch out first, and because he's Choice Scarf, he's faster. So had he switched out first, you know, that would have shown you that, you know, he was obviously faster, but I switched out first, so he obviously didn't switch out that turn. So I was able to bring out my Dragonite, and at this point, because of those misclicks that Blunder made, my Dragonite actually has a chance to knock out his Keldeo with +1 Dragon Claw. Now, I am Jolly Dragonite, not Adamant. Had I been Adamant Dragonite, it was already over. Adamant Dragonite 100% knocks out Keldeo after that, and he would have to revenge kill me with his Landorus, his Stone Edge, and then Jirachi could just come out and go for the Ice Punch or Iron Head. But it's a roll now to knock out the Keldeo. It is in Blunder's favor though, so I don't expect him to die. But at the same time, this damage is so crucial because now his Keldeo is in range of the Iron Head from my Jirachi, which has just become my way of winning the game. In order to win this game, I actually just need 1 flinch on his Landorus T in order to win the game at this point. So I don't know why I repeated that twice, but able to go out into my Jirachi now. I can go right for Iron Head. He cannot switch in Landorus T because he is offensive Landorus T. So basically, if he switched in Landorus T that turn, I won 100%. But he's going to make his best play and go right out to Landorus right now. As all I have left is this Jirachi and my Diancie. I'm not going to stay in because I am -1, and I have a better chance of flinching him into a KOing Medicham if I actually stayed in and did get the flinch on Landorus, or if he switched, Medicham has the chance to take the hits. So I decided to sack my Diancie right here to the Earthquake from his Scarf Landorus, and I will be able to bring right back out my Jirachi and basically go for Iron Heads. Now, Blunder and I both have very, very interesting luck when it comes to Jirachi. I've actually flinched Empoleons and Mega Agrons down to death, and Blunder has won games off the straight up this like important games. So we'll see if I'm actually going to be able to win this off of my Jirachi. But he's going to go out to his Medicham. Good play. Basically getting off the Intimidate, saving it for later. I guess it didn't matter too much, but it also meant that he can get off a Fake Out. And if he got a crit Fake Out right here, if he got a crit Fake Out, he could actually save this Medicham and sack Landorus and then go for the Fake Out one more turn. It would be able to knock me out. So it was his best play to give him the most chances to crit right there as well. So like I said, if he got that crit Fake Out, he would have been able to switch out to Landorus, even if I would have been able to beat it. But then Medicham would have been able to come in and get the 1-0 with the Fake Out. So it comes down to this. It comes down to this Iron Head right here. Do I flinch Landorus? Do I not? And I end up getting the flinch on Landorus, and that is going to be game. So the 60% chance ended up being in my favor. I am able to knock out the Landorus, and now I am 2-0 versus Blunder in King of Summer. So all I need is 6 wins to win the entire thing. But it is best of 10. The reason we did this is because there is a chance that we can draw, and that makes it a little bit more fun if we do draw. So thank you everybody for watching. Go ahead and check out my boy Blunder. I am now 2-0. Definitely the Iron Head flinch mattered, right? But, and also Blunder being dumb and making 2 misclicks. I don't want to say dumb, but like did the same misclick twice in a row. He's hilarious. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing, and I will see you guys next time. Cue the outro.